Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the IWillAim podcast. Our topic for today is Everyone Has a Story. Everyone has a story, but few take the leap to share it with the world. In this inspiring episode, our KDP expert and storytelling mentor, Mila Johansson, reveal how ordinary people can turn their life experiences into published books that educate, inspire, and leave a legacy. Whether you're just dreaming of writing or you're ready to hit publish, this conversation will ignite your courage to share your voice and remind you that your story truly matters. Welcome, Mila. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Hi. Well, glad to be here with you today.
Looking forward to our conversation. How about if we kick it off with a quick introduction?
I'm Mila Johansson, and I'm a writing, publishing, and public speaking coach. And I have helped 8 people publish their books on Amazon in the last 6 weeks. We get it done. We move fast. We're just putting out this book this week. I Hate Football. It's for women who want to learn more about football to be with their husbands, or husbands who want to hand it to their women. And then we're doing all kinds of children's books. Here's another book about fundraising, a business book. So we do anything, any genre. It's the same process. So we can do, business books, novels, children's books. We just put out this children's book here too. All kinds of
Wow.
wonderful books. And so I'm here to tell you how I did my book and how it built my business too. And so I help entrepreneurs build their business by writing their short book first. Did you know, Will, that the shortest book you can put on Amazon with a spine, self-publish, is 36 pages. So anyone can write a
Wow.
36-page book in a day or two, and
Yeah.
then published and work on it and get it published in a week or two.
That's amazing, amazing factoids. How about let me start with what inspired you to help people in their journey in getting their book published? What was the starting point for you?
Well, I might have to go back to when I was 8 years old. Is that
Okay.
okay?
Yeah.
Well, when I was 8, uh, I went to see Mary Poppins, which dates me. It's the one with Julie Andrews. And I came home and I shut my bedroom door and I tried to make some chalk drawings, on some bigger paper. And I'm not even a good artist now. I can't even do stick people, so they were probably pitiful, but I probably had crayons. But anyway, I closed my eyes and I jumped onto the chalk drawings thinking they would transport me to the magical land of merry-go-rounds, flowers, and penguins. I believed it. I still believe it, but it didn't happen. I tried like 8 times and it just didn't work then. I'm sure it would work now. But anyway, so then what I did was I thought, well, if I can't go to the magical land by drawing pictures and jumping into it, maybe I could write a book. Like, I loved Nancy Drew and the Oz books. I grew up in Oz. My mom read me all 14 of the Oz books, and there's actually 28. She read me those later by his person who wrote his books after him, Frank Baum. So anyway, I started writing a book, and I wrote a page and a half, and I quit because I was 8. But I knew then I wanted to be a writer. And then when I was 18, my mother tricked me into becoming a writer. She said, Mila, I know, she's a teacher. I know you've always wanted to become a writer. So why don't you just write one sentence a day for a month? And I went, I can write one sentence a day for a month. And you can't. It's like potato chips. You have to write more. So by the end of the month, I was a writer. I was writing a page and a half, 2 pages or more a day. And I do that with people now. Well, like if you were working with me, I would say, okay, everybody in my classes, I say 20 minutes a day is all we ask. That's the word on the street with writers and authors and publishers. And, so because we're not doing this 2-hour stint anymore, these 4 hours, I mean, you can, but you don't have to, because Toni Morrison, the great novelist, said that for her first book, she wrote it in 15 minutes a day, because that's all
Wow.
the time she had between raising children and her job. And I say even 5 minutes a day can add up to a book. So my colleagues and especially my clients come up to me, they go, Mila, you tricked me. I tried to write 5 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, but I had to write more. And now I'm a writer. And that's what my mother did to me.
Wow. That's an amazing story. You must thank your mom for actually helping. helping you realize your dream, and now you're helping other people realize their dream too.
Exactly. Exactly.
Why do you believe that storytelling is such a powerful force for personal growth and connection?
I think it's for everything, or whether you're a business person or a senior wanting to tell your memoir, and I want to say, write your memoirs. Even if your children aren't interested now, they will be later. I promise you, everyone will be interested to know. I think also one reason to write our memoirs, Will, is to prove to our children that we were young once. It's hard for them to grasp. So any kind of book you want to do, I've helped some people write novels, sci-fi, to love stories, and telling your story, but telling your personal story is, they found out in business, super important. I saw a show about the Wall Street. It was a Wall Street Journal report or something about a year ago, and they said the businesses who tell a story, even if it's only a sentence or two, make way more money and are way more successful. So, usually I'm on usually a podcast a week somewhere or other, and for the last 5 years. And and they always say, like you did, what is your story? Everybody wants to know your story. And that, when you're writing a book, even a business book, you want to add stories throughout, because it's hard to just read, especially nowadays with so much coming at us. I don't think people are really as ADD as everyone's claiming. I think it's more like we have a lot on our plate and a lot coming at us,
Yeah.
and we have to discern what are we going to listen to. So I think people, when there's a story in a book, I can read it. Now, once in a while, I work with a client and there's no stories in the book yet, and I go, "Well, do you want me to read the book?" And they go, "Well, yeah." And I go, "Well, I won't be interested unless you can put some stories in there." So, you might be talking clinical psychology, but put a story of a person who had that problem and how it worked for them. You might be talking clinical investment money, talk about someone who invested the money the right way and were successful. You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so I do a whole series of books called the Cinderella Monologues, and this is the third one,
Mm.
and we're getting ready to do the fourth one. And all these women are telling their story coming from struggle to success, and these are very popular books because people love to read other people's story and either commiserate or say, "That's my story too. That's what happened to me." People love stories, so I think no matter what you're writing or what you're teaching or coaching or what your business is, you need to have a story. And that Wall Street article said just a 2 to 3 sentence story delineating how your company started or what it's about.
The story is very powerful because it engaged the audience and also piqued the interest of the audience. If there's any listener out there who's dreaming to be a writer but suffering through mental block, what are your approach to help them get over mental block or anxiety of writing?
Sure, and writer's block, we call it too.
Writer's block.
So there's several ways. First thing is just write. Don't wait for anything. Don't wait for the right moment. Don't wait for it to be the right day, for money to come through. But remember, Toni Morrison, 15 minutes a day. You can at least do 5 minutes a day, and 5 minutes a day will add up to a book. So just start writing. And at first, it might feel awkward. It might feel like, "Oh, I'm not very good." Usually, at the about halfway, 2/3 through a book, I'm going, "Oh, it's just not very good. I want to throw it away." But after that, it comes to fruition, it comes around, and it becomes a great book. And if you just blather down, that's, Barbara Kingsolver, the great novelist, says, give yourself permission to write a bad book and then work on it until it's a good book. And what she means is blather it down and fix it later, because we all have editors. And the other thing is, it'll be better than you think. Always. It's always better than you think. And you don't worry about spelling, don't worry about grammar, don't stop to make anything perfect. In fact, the people who want to make everything perfect don't finish the book. So you want, yeah.
I love the concept of just writing, right, and not focusing on editing and formatting, and sort of like doing a
Yes.
brain dump and putting in everything on paper. If someone out there want to work with you, what are the criteria to work with Mila? I know
Oh,
you're very busy, you have a lot of clients, but if someone wants to work with you, what are the criteria to actually be able to work with you?
I think wanting to write your book, I can pretty much work with anyone, you know. Not every book will be a masterpiece, not every book's going to
Mm.
sell a lot, but you will be published. And that's the thing about working with me is I can go from A to Z. I can go when you're starting writing, you already got a lot of it written, let's finish it. It's finished, now let's publish it. Now it's published, let's advertise it. I can help you anywhere you are, and it's a lot of fun. I make it fun, like a puzzle. Think of it like a puzzle that it all has to fit together. And so I can help anybody write a book and finish it. And I encourage you to. I think everyone should become a published author, and it's never been easier. Will, it's never been easier. Amazon has a publishing company called KDP, stands for Kindle Direct Publishing, but it doesn't mean just Kindle books. It's for all the genres, paperback, hardcover, Kindle, and audiobook. They have a program where you can make free audiobooks. So you don't have to pay the $2,000, $5,000 for audiobooks anymore. And, but you can, I mean, there's a lot of ways of doing it. So anyway, it's so easy. And the great thing about KDP Amazon is they give us so many attributes. One of the biggest ones is samples. They let you buy samples and read your book before
Mm.
it's published. And then you fix it and you go back in and you reload it. And another thing is, as soon as your book is loaded and it's published, and five friends come up to you and go, "Oh, I found a mistake." Well, you fix them and reload your book. I mean, it has so many attributes. Then they give you a whole Amazon page. They give you a place to put your bio and your picture. They give a description of your book, a sample of your book, a place to put videos. It's amazing what they give us. And guess what? It's all free. Repeat after me, free. And you make the royalties, and they give 1/3 royalties, and that's pretty good because if you are traditionally published, which is hard to do and can take 2 to 4 or 5 years, you will get like $1 a book, maybe $2 a book, but still you may sell more books because they're advertising for you too. But I would say everybody should self-publish at least one book. And there's a problem with that. As soon as people come to me, I have to put up a warning sign on my PowerPoints. Warning, warning. As soon as you work with me, you'll probably think of way more books. So I had one woman start with me with the cat book. Where's this? The cat? Yeah. And then she just finished another book called Fun Feline Facts, and now she's doing Ginger the Cat Loves Christmas.
Mm.
It's all about a rescue cat that she loved so much. And she's been working with me 5 years on and off. So we keep writing books. So the more books, here's another secret. The more books you have on Amazon, the more books you sell, and the more it builds your algorithms because they
Mm.
feed each other. The books beget books. So that's the only problem with working with me. You'll probably think of more than one book to write.
Well, that's a good problem, though. You can get published, and you get end up with writing more books. For first time author that works with you, what are the common challenges that they're facing?
I think getting it written. I think, but once they work with me, most people feel pretty empowered and encouraged, and they go, "Oh, I'm getting so much more writing done since I've been with you than I ever have," and that I'm giving people. Well, this is a big deal. That I'm giving people the permission to write the short book. So here's the book sizes. You can do the 36-page book, and just get it out there, and then use it for outline for a longer book if you ever get to it. You may
Mm.
not. To teach from, to give away.
Yeah.
My book. Let's see, where did it go? My book 101 Surprising Tips. I couldn't stop at 36. It ends up being 70 pages. But now I didn't know then, I wrote this like 5 years ago, if I would have done 73 pages, 75, I could have room on the spine for my name
Mm.
in the title of the book. And so anyway, but now this book I've used as an outline, and I've got a really long book coming with every single blow you need to do on Amazon to self-publish. This is more about advertising. But what happened was I gave this book away when I spoke on summits and podcasts, and I gave away 5,000 books as a PDF before I even made it into a physical book. And now it's an ebook and an audiobook. And so you can use it as a lead magnet to for your coaching. Brings every time I talk about the book or I open the book, I usually get a client because they're going, "Oh my God, she really knows what she's talking about." But then the next size up for a book would be 75 pages where you put your name on and the title.
Mm.
But the next one would be the comfortable, what most people are doing, the comfortable 125, 135 page book. So here it is. And here's the difference
Mm.
in spines.
Yeah, there's a spine with your name on it.
Yeah, most people are doing this book because,
Yeah.
attention spans aren't real big right now. And you can get a lot of information into this book. This is a very interesting book. I think it's going to sell really well about football. So anyway, so then you might want to do the longer book, 200, 300 pages. We're not doing Missioner anymore, so we're not doing 500-page books unless you're sci-fi. And then so maybe 200, 250 pages is a comfortable longer book. And so what I say is start with a 36-page book, then make the next 75-page book, then the 125-page book, then the 200-page book, and guess what? You've got 4 books. I'm teaching the modular style of books.
You got 4 books that's all published, and algorithm would help you because if those books are selling, they're gonna help each other sell more books.
Exactly.
For
And you
people
can
who
make it out of one book. You can make it out of the same book, just keep expanding it.
yeah, true. If someone is thinking about writing a book and want to use it for personal branding, how does a book help with personal branding?
Well, this one, when people see it and I talk about it and I show it, now with my talks, I'm usually starting off with, well, I was going to make a beautiful PowerPoint for you, but I realized I only need one visual aid, this book. So I tell them that I garnered 7,000 emails. And I know that's not a lot for some people who have like 20,000, but for me, that was a lot because I started with 100 of just my personal friends. And then I got them in a CRM and I advertise every week, either a program I'm doing or maybe I'm speaking on someone else's summit or something like that. And so I give this away all the time. And so what a book can do for you is it will show your expertise. It will be a giveaway. It will be even a little textbook. Every time I work with someone, I send this to their house so they have it. And most people read it cover to cover. And they think it's a lot. And I always say, well, just start with one thing. But this is barely covering the surface compared to my new book, The Bible of Self-Publishing, that will be coming out soon. And so a book can do so much for you. You can build your entire business off one small book. You can do a speaking career from it. You can show it to people. You can give it away. And I can't even tell you how many things it's done for me. It's created my entire coaching business for me.
Wow, an amazing story. If for our listener out there, what are the 3 key takeaways from today's discussion?
I think the main thing is to just start and give yourself 5-20 minutes a day, beginning of the day, maybe when you're tired in the afternoon. Sometimes I'm getting my best writing done when I'm tired because it makes me go deep. And then maybe night, but just get that time in. Start writing it. And here's a secret how to start. Make a bullet list of everything you want to say in the book. Let's say you're talking about manifestation. So you make a bullet list of exercises, how I did it, my story, Jane's story, read The Secret, whatever. You want to make a bullet list of things you want to make sure you talk about and do things because if you write what you can blather a book down in very short time, a weekend, a week, a short book, right? So what I did was, these are you see the chapters?
Wow.
Well, the bullet points turned into my chapters. I might have given them better names later. But what you do is you have that bullet list, not in order. The order can change. Just blather down every little point you want to make. Then pick the easiest one to write that you think you could blather out in just an hour or whatever, and write that first. It can be chapter 1, 3, it could be the end. And it doesn't matter what chapter it is. And then you go, oh, I did that one. I'll do the next one. So do the next easiest one. So pretty soon you've done 3 or 4 chapters and you're like, I can do this. My book is coming together. And then you write it from the inside out, chapter 3. Oh, now chapter 7, the end. One time I wrote a novel and I knew the end. And I felt it. I could feel it. So I wrote the last chapter first. Don't think you have to start A to Z. Don't think you need to do any grammar or spelling at that point. You know what I'm saying? So do that, and then you'll be off and running, and that will be your outline. We don't have to do these long, laborious 3-page outlines anymore. We just need to start, and that's the whole key to writing, is to just start.
Well, thank you for sharing the takeaway. If my audience wants to reach out to you, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Well, you can do my email, which is my name backwards, johanssonmila@gmail.com, or go to my website and check out my classes that we're always doing. milajohansson.com and reach out to me and let's have a meeting and see what your project is and what you want to do. Most of the time when people meet with me, they end up signing up with me because I'm very reasonable is another thing. And we will get it done. Get your book finished and published, and you will have your little flag to wave or your memoir to give your family for Christmas or anytime.
Thank you, Mila, for your time. Really appreciate you, and have a good day.
Thank you, Will. I really honored that you asked me to come here and talk with you today.